And I think we're live. Yes. Ah, here we go. Oh, a few technical difficulties with going live today, but here we are. Hello, Melissa.
Hello, Leslie. Good to see you.
Great to see you on this very sunny day and another blue sky day in New York. I love it.
It's beautiful.
And I'm going to get our banner up so as people log in, they will see, because we want to know where people are tuning in from. And I'm wondering, like, how many cities or countries or regions will we cover today? Because we've had quite the range.
Yes. I've been really impressed. We've had a lot of international guests, which is always exciting because you know I love to travel. And so I'm always excited to
Yes.
see where people are tuning in from.
And people waking up early, like our friend from Hawaii, I think
Yes.
could be like 4 a.m. there. And then, of course, people in Europe or South Africa, it's easier. It's later afternoon on a Friday. So let's see. Ah, look who's here, Gabe, who we have to thank for
Yes.
highlighting our live.
That
So
beautiful post.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
And Karen, welcome. Hi, where are you tuning in from? I know Gabe is I know he's in Texas. I don't know if he's tuning in from Texas.
I
Oh,
think,
Staten Island.
if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to meet Gabe next week.
Wow. I love that.
I'm
Oh,
pretty
I
sure.
love a good in-person meetup.
Exactly.
Everyone's chiming in. We
Oh,
have
Kimberly's here.
Kimberly here. Hello, hello. I know it's early for you
It
over
is.
there on the West Coast. Who else do we have? Oh, Leah, hi. It's early for you too. So thank you for chiming in the morning. I'm so glad to see you. So while everyone is chiming in, uh, we could I just want to welcome everyone. And I don't want to forget, not only do we have people who are watching live, and thank you, and I'm so looking forward to the comments. We both love the comments. I'm engaging with you and starting conversations, but also with those who are watching the replay, where they can still get in the comments and we can still all start and finish and engage in conversations. So we've got a few more that have come on.
Oh, this
We
is
got
great. Yes, I'm going to meet Karen in New York. That is right. Thank you. At Alyssa's studio. That's right. Oh, this is exciting. I love in person. I mean, as much as I love online, I love in person.
yes. In online is a great way to start. It's a great way to continue. And then that in person just adds that extra oomph to the connection. Oh, hello, Jason. We're glad you're here. Oh, and Leah is on the East Coast today, so the time is better. Thanks for mentioning that. So, and Tori is here. The names are flying by from Fort Worth. So, Texas is definitely well represented today. And we've got more chiming in. You know how it is. It all is a little slow. So, for those, we want to welcome everyone. This is Let's Talk About It Careers, Business, and LinkedIn, episode 12. The time
Wow,
went
it's been a
by.
year. That's amazing.
And today is mindset, what you think matters. And in a little bit, we'll talk about it is Friday the 13th and what our mindset is about that. And let's start with introducing ourselves, and then we'll get to know all of you. So, Melissa, if you'd start, and we'll both also have your cool mug today.
You're
Or is
so
it
good,
future?
Leslie.
I love it.
I did remember. I was like, Leslie's going to be like, where's your mug? So hi, everyone. I'm Melissa Cohen. I am so excited to see all of you, and thank you for spending part of your day with Leslie and me. I am based in New York City. I am a personal branding and LinkedIn coach. I love to call myself the Good Witch of LinkedIn because my dear friend Charity gave me that title and I decided I was sticking with it. And I'm also excited to say that I have just recently published a book with my friend Cindy Goodwin-Sak, which is all about having resilience in your career. And I'm really happy to see all of you today.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. And there'll be a moment about your book in a moment. So we'll
Thank
talk more.
you.
So I'm Leslie Nydick, and as you saw by my mug, I stick with conflict happens. That's why I'm in business. I love helping people get unstuck from conflict, whether it's that I'm sharing tips or strategies or helping you, while you engage me as someone you hire. It's all about negotiation, communication, and managing conflict. And I do want to point out that besides LinkedIn, which is where I connect with most of you, I'm also on YouTube and Instagram, and it, it it's fun to have these other areas to connect with people. And Instagram, I'm brand new. So I'm just enjoying when it's new, it's fun. So look for me, the conflict strategist. I will welcome connecting with you. So before we start, I did mention I want to really, I know she mentioned it, but I want to emphasize that I'm opening my phone.
Oh, thank you. That's so
Um,
nice.
So Melissa wrote the book with Dr. Cindy Goodwin-Sak. It is a number 1 bestseller. I highly recommend it. It's for your career, it's for your business. I found so many tips in there that, it's those things you might know, but you need a reminder and you need it in like a book with the tasks to really think about. So it's called Your Career Resilience Blueprint. Highly recommend it. Go
Thank
for
you.
it. And while we're here, of course, it takes a moment to get to the right spot, but I think we need a little bit of confetti to say congratulations, Melissa. I think it's fabulous and it will just continue. It lives on.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we're here for mindset. And just to like make sure we're all on the same page, mindset is how you see, perceive, and experience the world. It's influenced by our personalities, our thoughts, beliefs, experiences, and perceptions. It includes what you think about, what you believe is possible, and all the emotions attached to our thinking. So, to get started, I briefly mentioned Friday the 13th, and I'm going to ask Melissa in a moment what she thinks about it. Do you believe, and we want to know from the audience, do you believe that Friday the 13th is an unlucky day? Maybe, yes, probably not, or no. And please let us know in the comments. And Melissa, I haven't asked you, so I want to know what you think about it.
I do not think it's an unlucky day. I understand the sort of connotation. I understand the superstition, but no, I don't believe it's an unlucky day. In fact, so a fun fact about me is when I was in college, I was an Italian language and literature major. And so I can tell you that to a lot of Italians, 13 is actually a lucky number. And so I believe it's just like any other day. And it's fun to like make little superstitions and little jokes, but no, I think it's just fine. I would also like to say I'm super excited to see my friend Sangeeta is here, and I know she's joining us from India. So thank you. It is lovely to see you here, and thank you so much for joining us.
There's so many friends here that we want to say hello to. And I'm seeing, let's see, we've got Leah says maybe more lucky. I love that thinking. And what Friday the 13th is lucky. Yay. Hello, Anne. Because my child was born on one. I love that. It is lucky. And Sangeeta, hello. So nice to meet you. And then what's this? Grandfather was born on the 13th and lived a great life lasting until 90. I love that LinkedIn user. And when we get back to LinkedIn, we'll know who you are. So we will come back to you. I, I I like to take those things as being lucky. And I remember one of my very first jobs, I sat on the 13th floor. And at the time, I didn't really know about this unlucky thing. There were people who would come to see me and wouldn't come to the 13th floor. They would say, "Can you meet me downstairs? Is there another floor we can go to for the conference room?" And then I finally realized how many people believe in the unluck of the 13th. But interesting enough that there was a survey done by YouGov, and most Americans don't believe that Friday the 13th is an unlucky day. 52% said definitely not. 28% said probably not. um, 11% said it definitely or probably is unlucky. And then the rest, there was about another 9%. They don't know. They weren't sure. So I would say that we're more all leaning towards the luck versus the unluck. And I think that's kind of fun to use the 13th as a way to think of being lucky. And perhaps that's how we all think about our mindset. And that's what we want to get into right now. So, Melissa, and of course, we want to know from the audience as well. How has mindset impacted your career and or business? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. And, when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about today, one of the biggest things that came to my mind was it's really important in any work situation, even if you're a solopreneur, but especially in a corporate setting, I think it's really important to have a mindset of growth, right? And a mindset that fosters innovation, fosters experimentation. And one of the biggest ways that we can do that is to sort of change our mindset around failure, right? When you say the word failure, what's the first thing that happens? You start the I failed. You think about that paper that you got a bad grade on, or that subject that you got a big red F on your report card in school, right? Failure just has this instant, it makes you just kind of feel this clench in your chest, right? And what if it didn't? What if we could reframe the way we think about failure and make it an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, and to, there's this saying, right? Failure isn't fatal. And it's true. Failure is not fatal. And it definitely doesn't need to be at work. Now, I'm not saying to take crazy risks or, be really innovative when it comes to a very specific corporate initiative that must succeed, that the revenue of the company is depending upon it. I'm not saying to do crazy things, but we should have a mindset around innovation. We should be willing to try different things and experiment. And if something doesn't go well, really break that down and analyze, okay, well, what part of it did work? What part of it was successful? What did people enjoy about this? And how can we do better? How can we iterate this to make it more successful next time? I think that has such an impact on organizations.
I love it. And I even was, as you were speaking, I'm like, we could just take that word failure and replace it with anything that's difficult for us. And again, take that approach that, like, find the opportunity, find the lesson. I heard someone this morning in a prior meeting saying, reflect without regrets. Like, and that's where it has that more growth and learning mindset versus, like, I'm going to still just keep on going. I wish that didn't happen. Why did that happen? Just how to move forward. So for me, the way mindset really became something front and center for me is originally when I believed I had to know everything, I didn't speak up when I didn't know something. And that lasts a long time. And when I transform my thinking to, it's okay not to know something. It allowed me to start asking questions out loud to and not only to convey my curiosity, to learn. And it completely changed my career because instead of just sitting in a meeting, absorbing what was said, and then scrambling afterwards to figure out what I had to figure out. Um, then when I switched it to starting to ask a question during the meeting, that it was okay to ask the question. It was okay not to know. The coolest thing happened afterwards. People started coming up to me saying, "Oh, thank you for asking that question. I've been thinking about it for 3 weeks," or whatever it was. And I was like, wow, we really all have to dare to ask. And it is a mindset shift. It's not just knowing, yes, it's okay to ask a question. It's telling here inside, ask the question. It really is true. There's no dumb question. It's a question. It means you misunderstood what someone said, or you needed it said in a different way, or they didn't share. They assumed you knew.
As you were telling that story, you got to the conclusion that was in my head, right? That anytime you have a question in a group setting, I would be willing to guarantee at least one other person has that same question, because we all have this fear of asking questions. And you're right,
Yes.
it's such a mindset shift, and it's such an important one, because how can we get clarity if we don't ask the right questions? You gave a presentation about this, right? Ask better questions. If you're in conflict or you're just not clear, you have to ask better questions.
Yes. So let the audience has got a lot going on here. I'm going to move backwards a bit. Hello, Vernon. I'm so glad you're here. And it is very early for you where you are. It's a matter of what you believe. Absolutely. And I'm going to be bringing that up later. It really is. And it's convincing yourself that you believe. Dallas apartment building didn't have a 13th floor. They skipped it. I live in a building where there's no 13. I don't know about you, Melissa. Do you have a 13th floor?
I believe we do. I believe we do, but I have worked in buildings that didn't have a 13th floor.
Yeah. And Karen, great point. It's about perspective. Absolutely. And I always think of that when there are some people ask me, like, what's a tip if I have a routine meeting and there's always negativity, like, pick yourself up and physically change your view, which can provide a new perspective, as Karen mentioned. Oh, and hello, Kimberly. Good morning to you. It's great to see your smiling face. And hello, Sia from YouTube land. Thank you for being on YouTube. And Jason has a point. Love that, Melissa. Fail forward. Those are two important words. Thank you, Jason. I also think this has a great deal to how the leadership of the company pours into their people and creates safe spaces for them to learn, unlearn, and grow. And Jason, great point. It goes to every level, whether it's your direct manager, whether it's other departments you're coordinating with, whether it's just a meeting with outsiders. It if it's not okay to ask, then even the inner voice will stop you because people are not welcoming questions. And we've got a few more. Nadine agrees with you, Melissa. Hello, Nadine. And I'm going to cover a couple more. When you take failure by the face, it leads to growth for sure. Oh, thank you for that ad, Sangeeta. What else do we have here? Kimberly, reflect without regret. Absolutely. I love that. So let's get to because, the time flies by, of course, and we like to stick to our time. So I have a follow-up question, and I'm going to change our banner quickly. So, what is your best tip or best tips, Melissa, for managing your mindset And please, audience, you've got a lot to say, so please put it in the comments and then we'll be focusing on those in a moment.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see what everybody has to say in the comments. So I'm going to echo Leslie. Not that you guys are ever shy about chiming in, but please, I really want to see what everyone thinks here. So for me, it's something that I'm personally really working on. What I've noticed has a huge impact on my mindset is how much sleep I get and how much I can regulate that. And that's been a huge problem for me the last couple of years, where I've just found that my sleep habits have not been as good as they used to be. I've had to become much more intentional about putting the phone down, unplugging, turning off the electronics, having some downtime before I go to bed, and really trying to be a little bit more consistent about when I go to bed. Because an interesting thing has happened to me lately where I sort of seem to wake up at the same time, regardless of when I go to bed, right? It used to be,
Yep.
oh, I went to bed late, but it's okay, I'll sleep in. So sleeping in doesn't happen for me anymore. And so I really have to be intentional about I'm going to go to bed more or less at the same time every night and try to get as good an amount of sleep as I possibly can. And that's been huge for me.
Oh, that's such a good tip. And it requires being intentional because we can just say, "Oh yeah, I need more sleep." No, no, you have to plan like when you're going to go to bed, say it, make sure the phone's not on, not in the morning either. So, oh, that's a great tip. We
I
all
was
have to go. I'm
I was actually recently challenged that. So I use my phone as an alarm too, right? Which I'm sure a lot of us
me too.
do. I was challenged to don't have it anywhere near the bed. Like, even if it means you have to, first of all, I usually wake up before the alarm anyway. But even if I have to listen to it for a minute as I'm getting up, and, like if we keep it by our bed, it's just, first of all, it's a temptation. And it's also just not healthy for you, apparently, to have it anywhere near your bed. So I'm working on that as well.
I'll work on that. That's a work in progress. So for me, I would say, and someone mentioned it already, believe. And that's just a easy word to say, but how to implement it. And it's believing that something's possible, even though, because otherwise it'll stay impossible. So, and the it refers to whatever you need to resolve, something you have to solve or fix or address, whatever it is. And when I focus my career on managing conflict, I never realized how important that process of managing what you think can really change the outcome. So if people tell me there's no solution to a conflict or a problem or whatever we're working on, whether it's a team project, then there isn't one. Because you're not going to look for it. And that's where the believe part comes. If you reframe it to, I believe there's a solution, I have no idea what it is, but if you believe it exists, you will keep on looking for it, even if you need other people to help you to find it. And the opposite becomes true too. If you say there isn't one, you're not going to go look for it any. See, there isn't one. Like there's nothing more to do. So that believe can be about guiding you, or if you don't believe, it'll stop you. And that has been a game changer for me personally, but also helping clients.
You just reminded me, Leslie, of like it's such a powerful statement, and it's very simple, but I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's actually true. Um, Whether you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. And like, what else do you like? What else can you say? It's true.
Yeah,
Your mindset really informs everything.
so true. And we have so many. I've got to go back. Here, Karen saying, ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? It comes from within. We can choose to be happy on purpose. Love that. And we've all met those people who almost decide, how to be unhappy on purpose, that they will find anything wrong in
Yeah.
the day. And you kind of have to do literally the opposite of them. And then, hello, Lincoln, it's great to
Yeah.
see you. Recognize and focus on your flow state. Be productive when you're in it, stop when you're not. That way, you'll get the best quality of work done as humanly possible. Great thought. I don't know if Melissa, if you saw comments, I'm trying to go through each one. Sleep is essential for me to have a good mindset the next day. I hear you, Melissa. Thank you, Anne. It's great to see you.
I mean, I saw that Kimberly didn't get a lot of, oh, well, we have two Kimberlys. I saw the other Kimberly didn't sleep well last night, but she was singing and dancing. So I kind of think that's okay. I think she gets a pass on
Yeah.
it. But I'm
And I
intrigued.
love this.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by the glasses. Yeah.
I also remember we can't believe everything we think. Exactly. We tell ourselves things that are not true. What else? We have a few more I want to. Not a problem for myself. Working 12 hours on patrol in jail gets you exhausted. So that,
That sounds
well, that
exhausting.
solves my sleep problems. When I've had sleep problems, I actually know that it's going to improve because I'm so tired that there's going to be a day that I don't even have to be intentional. I will sleep well. So even just physical exercise helps keep the sleep going because we really are tired. We're going to fall asleep.
So the days that I recently was away in Yosemite and we were hiking every day and getting in, probably like double the normal amount of steps I normally get, I slept so well those nights. And I think that that just proves physical activity is really good for our sleep.
I agree. Oh, hello, Lauren. It's great to see you. So beliefs really shape our reality. It is. Our thoughts become our reality. So we really do have to manage them and not just let them be because we tend to go into protect mode and our mind will tell us things we shouldn't do. Like, oh, I even think about it that, when we think we're not going to be good at something, we don't even try it because why? Because we have to be, an Olympian with a gold medal? No. Um, I did a video once where I said something about like do it anyway,
Yeah.
whether you're good at it or not. And what I found out when I started running, and I am not a good runner, I am not fast. Some people will say I'm actually walking, not running. And then they gave you the medal anyway. So I'm like, you see, you win if it was an accomplishment for me. Like, do it anyway. I don't have to be the best, but I can be enjoying it and have fun.
If you don't do it at all, that's when you have already lost, right? To me, just by trying and just by doing it, you've already won.
Yeah. And we've had a few, radical curiosity. Ooh, those are two powerful words. Thank you, Lauren. And hello, Zarina. We definitely have another continent covered with Zarina here. Staying positive, setting clear and realistic goals, and embracing challenges can help us manage mindset, improve life balance. I love that. So wait, we have a couple more that, what is it? Hello, Victor. Very valuable discussion. Good job. Thank you. We're so glad you're here. And we look forward to getting to know you. So there's many more comments, but of course, I'm looking at the clock and we want to honor your time. We are going to be in the comments, whether it's right after this or later on today or tomorrow. So please expect to see some notifications. This is our monthly event and and I think I already wrote I did. I want you to mark your calendars for October 11th because we'll have another show next month. We thank you for being here, and I'm going to let Melissa close it out.
Yeah, I mean, I say this every month, but I think this one went faster than any other. I don't understand how it's 10:29 in New York. So I just want to say thank you all so much for being here. I actually see a wonderful question about mindset as you're starting to grow your brand. I can't tell who posted it because we're not on LinkedIn right now, but I will absolutely answer that question because I think it's a great one. And as Leslie said, the comments are really where we're going to continue the conversation. So we will absolutely continue to be there. If you still have more comments, more questions, please keep adding to the conversation. But thank you all so much for spending time with us today, and hope to see you on October 11th.
Bye-bye.